welcome to Family Gamer TV. We've been looking at Infinite Arms and getting the inside track from Keiichi Yano, CEO of the company, and Chris Asaki. So thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Andy.
So Infinite Arms, I've been tracking with it for a little while. It's not kind of broken ranks yet. It's sort of a best kept secret, I think. But where did the idea come from?
Oh, we've been working on this idea for, I guess, 2-3 years now. We've always had the idea that toys to life as a category, as a segment, could be just much more than we've seen in the past. And we hearkened to our days of childhood, memories of playing with Star Wars action figures and whatnot, and where it was all just simply in our minds. Now we have the technology, the ability to, take that out of the virtual or our mind space and bring it out to physical reality. And we really got excited thinking about, the idea of taking these action figures and having them just like seamlessly work with mobile games. And that's exactly what we've done with Infinite Arms. Yeah,
the thing that strikes me is it's very instant. So we have these figures, as we can see, and you clip on the different weapons and instantly it's there in the app. Was that important, and was that difficult to achieve?
Well, I guess we can.
Both.
I think it was very difficult to achieve, but it was also one of our most important things that we wanted to get right. We really believe that that bridge between the physical reality and the virtual reality, the closer you can get them out of sync and into sync, the more you're going to feel like those lines are blurred. So that speed at which accessories get put on into the game and get reflected in the game, that was super important for us to blur that reality.
They're one and the same. The experience is both in the physical as well as the digital, and there's no separation thereof. It's not like one is artificially tethered to the other and there's some delay in kind of what's happening on one side and the other. It's the fact that they're actually one whole, and they function as one whole, and they communicate back and forth almost instantaneously. So it just you have this experience that it never stops between the two, and that absolutely is critical to having the experience really kind of speak to us.
I think a part of that you mentioned already, that doesn't have a portal, so you don't have to place the toys on something. They just connect directly. And I'm used to Toys to Life games having that portal, but playing this without that, it does feel more like the toy is just directly, part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just an extension of kind of the game, but really it's a part of the whole, right? And so the experience is out here. It's in the tablets. It's in your mobile device as well. But being able to play with the physical toy, actually pose it, customize it, put different weapons on it, was so important. And to have something that artificially puts you into certain play modes or restricts certain interactions because of something that tethers you to something or requires you to put it onto something, it just didn't work for us. They had to be autonomous. They had to be something like action figures that we grew up with, and they have to look and feel like just a real action figure. And once you have that, then you unlock all the play possibilities that you had with a standard action figure. And then, of course, it's automatically in the game and updating in real time, so then it's even more than that. Right?
Yeah, and I understand that the team has quite a lot of experience from the console space and sort of mature titles, and you see that in the sort of level of depth. But of course, this is on a tablet and not a console, so how did that decision come about?
Well, I mean, we look at, again, the future of the segment, and we really wanted lots of people to enjoy this experience. And we thought, the portability of the action figures of the toys themselves really worked well with the portability of mobile. And, you have these two things, and they're completely untethered, and you're playing them untethered, and that the ability to naturally play with both, I think, it really was a good fit for mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. And I guess... But the depth there, it does sort of skew it a bit older. When you hear Toys to Life, I'm not sure how helpful that phrase is really, because people think of kiddie toys. But that isn't the experience I had today.
Yeah, I mean, we really set out set out to make an experience that we want to play, and our tastes are a little bit older than kind of the standard Toys to Life fare that's out there. It appeals to a much younger audience than the games and experiences that I've had a lot of experience and enjoy making. I wanted to make something, and we wanted to make something that was a little bit older than that. And so, yeah, the sophistication of the actual game itself, it would skew much more towards your Call of Duties, your Halos, your Gears of War type of experiences. And so there's a level of sophistication there, both within the gameplay and the depth of the game, as well as the action figures.
Well, the franchise as a whole, I mean, we really set out to create an aspirational brand. So that to us, meant naturally a higher audience, so that we can, capture the imaginations of lots of people. And so that having that aspirational quality to it was very important. And when you're trying to create a brand like that, you're going to naturally tend to go to more sophisticated game design models, and that's where we the expertise of Chris and as well as Yaso and Tom really helped to bridge that that what people thought of as Toys to Life up to date, we've purposely tried to break with these guys in trying to create this aspiration brand.
And it feels like a part of the sort of the combination, the fusion of toys and video games, or tablet games. There's a tension there because tablet games are quite fast iterations. They get changed a lot, lots of small purchases. Whereas the toys we've seen, they only update every year. And I understand part of Infinite Arms is you're changing that sort of toy retail cycle.
Yeah, it's very, very accelerated. So as we wanted to have a service-based model, and that meant releasing toys very frequently, very quickly. So in Infinite Arms, we're actually releasing toys on a bi-weekly basis.
Weekly?
Yeah, bi-weekly. Yeah, once every 2 weeks, and and it's a lot. But at the same time, when you're going again to a service-based model, and we have these cool events around new weapon releases and whatnot, and we just think that's really cool. It's a lot like card games back in the day when new cards would come out. You would get excited because new cards would give you new possibilities, and that's what the weapons do for Infinite Arms.
Great. Well, it's really interesting to get sort of inside track into the game earlier, and also to hear from the creators has been sort of really fascinating. So thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah, thanks, Andy.